Hello.
Hi Rishabh.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi Anik. How are you?
We are good, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm
you
fine.
team and field it is, right?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Also,
Okay.
you have to help us. Is it just because of the bike, or is there more to this story?
Actually, we were sort of confused about what to name, what to call ourselves. And we just, what, off the top of our head, whatever we could come up with, we just wrote it down. There is not really a story here.
Oh,
Rishabh just loves Royal Enfield.
oh, he does. Okay. Rishabh,
Yes.
is that your actual background, or is that?
No, no, no. That's a virtual background, yes.
Yeah, because I was like, if you live in a house or a room with
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't have needed an MBA. Yeah.
perfectly tiled, or not actually tiled, perfectly bricked wall, that's very very interesting.
No, it's a virtual background.
Okay, good, good, good. Cool. Any other members from your end?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, no,
Just us.
that's it. Okay, two of you. Cool. Ayush, I think we have everybody. I think let's get cracking on this one.
Yeah, sure, sir. So, team and field officially welcome and congratulations, for becoming the national finalists. A great work, we must say. Okay. In the next couple of minutes, I'll just walk you through the basic, general rules regarding timeline, and other, basic necessities. And before that, just a quick reminder, okay, or just a quick advice, I would say, is stay calm, stay relaxed. Okay. The next 40 minutes or the next 1 hour is totally yours. Okay, just make the best use out of it. It's your time, not our time. Okay, so you are the one who is driving this particular thing, not us. Okay, who is driving this in field, riding this in field, not us. All right. So
Yes.
with that, let me take it forward. So regarding the basic structure of this presentation of this entire thing, we would start with the basic introduction that we have. We would be introducing our team, ourselves, and then we would be you would be introducing yourself. Then we will have a presentation time of 20 minutes. Initially it was 15, which we have increased to 20, right? After the presentation, we will have a Q&A round of around 20 minutes again, and that is a two-way. We would start with the questions from our end, and definitely at the end you are also open to asking questions to us, whatever you feel like. All right. Regarding general rules, the number one thing is what I have already mentioned. So the time is totally yours. Stay relaxed, and I think that is the best way you can take the presentation and deliver in the best possible way, right? So stay relaxed. Second thing, by default, please keep your cameras on at all the time, so that we can look at you, we can see you when you actually deliver the answers. The third thing goes by default, when it comes to work from office or MBA from home, work from home or MBA from home, in the, for that matter, there are going to be network issues, for sure. So if there is any network issue that any of your team member is facing, just stay relaxed. Feel free to connect once again. Take your time. So that won't be counted in this 20 minutes duration. Okay, that is totally independent of it. You should also be aware about the criteria that we have considered for your evaluation. The number one is actually the backbone of this entire competition. That is your user experience, the flow journey, or designing and definition part of the experience, your UX that you have created. The second one is your real world or real time applicability. So you would be judged on whether your solution is applicable or implementable in real time scenario or not. Okay. The third thing again goes by default your business understanding of the entire concept, your industry, company, user base, product as a whole. Fourth is attention to detail, your in-depth analysis of the product that you have built for us and of the existing assessments and products which we had given to you, right? And finally, the scores for the next 40 minutes that you have with you, that goes with presentation and delivery. As far as the content of this slide is concerned, do you have any questions, team and field?
So I might have to, move my camera a bit. So if I switch off the camera for like a second, would that be a problem?
No, 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 no issues.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Any other question? Okay, perfect. In that case, I would now request Abhishek sir to start with the introduction of MBA Trek and his introduction. Please, sir, over to you.
Okay. Um, so hi Rishabh, hi Anik. No, one first of all, welcome and congratulations. I
Hello,
think
sir.
Team
Good evening, sir.
Team Enfield is rolling its way through the national finals. So I think wonderful. Honestly, the best way to do it is to actually come to your campus and do it. But we are where we are. You know, this is how the world works right now. So I mean, while it's not the ideal way that we would do the presentation, I think it's fine. I think let's go with it. So, and therefore, I would say stay relaxed, enjoy this. Don't don't have a sense of the competition or the pressure of a competition there. Think of this as five MBAs coming together, where three people have already graduated and two are on their way to graduation or working through the degree, who are coming together on solving business problems, right? So let's keep it as a situation where you're presenting an idea, a thought, a proposal to us, and then as a team we are coming together and asking each other questions on this. So um, so enjoy it. um, don't worry about network issues and all that. If we do have it, we have budgeted enough time to sort out all these issues. So if somebody needs to continue from there or we have to wait for the other person to join in, don't worry, it's all okay, right? uh, so in terms of my introduction, I'm a massive sports fanatic. Um, uh, been love all kinds of sports, watch all kinds of sports. Not so interested in football, but it's okay. Um, so if there are any football fans, I apologize upfront. I've been an engineer pretty much all my life. Very lucky to do my engineering and also work in that area. So I'm an environmental engineer. I'm a slightly different engineer than most engineers. I was very privileged to have worked in that area for a very long period of time with very big companies, including the likes of Accenture. After that, I worked with Apple for a while, leading their sales strategy and planning for their enterprise and education business. MBA Trek has been a passion for me for a very long period of time. I mentor young people at all my alma maters. It may be BC, Georgia Tech, or ISB. I do it as a full-time role there, like in terms of I'm part of all the mentorship programs. Um, yeah, and I think couple of reflections on life. Probably started too late with entrepreneurship. Should have started a few years earlier. Studied too much in life. 3 degrees is, I think, overkill. Most people will agree. And yeah, I think really excited to hear from you. We are very, very lucky in a way that as a company, people who are interns or live project interns or people who sign up for our competitions also end up being our direct customers. So very few companies actually run that privilege or have that privilege. So I think I think we owe you a very strong ear, and we make sure. I think we should hear you very clearly. So yeah, looking forward to some great insights and best of luck. So over to you,
Thank you, sir.
Ayushi.
Uh, so I'm a business head for Institute and Student Vertical at MBA Trek. Been part of MBA Trek from last 4 years. Started as an intern, joined as a full time, and I'm very happy for that decision. Worked in both B2B and B2C verticals. Handled customers also, did mentoring also, created products also. So yeah, these 4 years worked into different domains. So this is a beauty of working in a startup, that you have the opportunity of exploring different domains and you can check out that what's the real interest, right? Yeah, this through this presentation, looking forward to some interesting ideas related to the user flow journey. Let's see how it goes ahead. Ayush, would you like to go ahead?
Thank you, Ayushi. Hi, everyone. I am Ayush. I work at MBA Trek as Product and Business Development Manager. I recently completed my MBA in 2020 from IIM Kashipur. I just like Ayushi, also did my internship from MBA Trek, received full-time offer from the team. I have a total of around 3 years of experience in the edtech industry and only in startups. For first 2 years, I had run my own. For the next 6 months, I worked in one of the startups recently found in Kota, Rajasthan, and now I'm working at MBA Trek. Um, on a personal side and related to the, the name of the team, I am a bike fan, I must say. Not that much, but yeah, I used to watch MotoGP, all my life as a kid. Valentino Rossi, the doctor, is my favorite MotoGP rider. I have almost watched every race that he has, done. um, I'm waiting for a new bike that is going to be launched by TVS Zeppelin. I've been waiting my entire MBA, but that got delayed, right? And the day it gets launched, so Rishabh wants to say something.
I think
I'll
it
just,
will be
wait
delayed
for
more,
him.
sir.
Yeah, so in my second year, I just wanted to buy it right away. And the month shifted from September 2019 to December 2019. And now 2020 is also almost over. So that is my bike story. I have also driven, right in field. I did not like it much because of the weight, that kind of a balance thing. But I'm waiting for the cruiser bike Zeppelin. Yeah. And more than, Zeppelin, I'm waiting for this Enfield to deliver the best mileage it can, on this journey so far. Yeah. So now waiting for you two for your introduction.
Anik, would you like to go first? Or should I?
Yes, sure. Well, my name is Anik Garai. I am from Asansol, West Bengal. I am a mechanical engineer by education. Currently, I am pursuing my PGDM from MDI Murshidabad. Um, well, I am a fresher, although I had an opportunity to work as a trainee under Kolkata Metropolitan Development Authority, which is a statutory planning and development authority under uh, West Bengal government. About my engineering times, I have involved into two of the projects. Like one was a regenerative braking system, and the other was Rubens tube. And about my hobbies, well, I am a big fan of cricket, movies. I'm into movies, and also I love graphic designing. I have also done a course on graphic designing, and after the graduation, I got some time to indulge into filmmaking. It was an independent project. I uh, did not have the money to, you know, create big anything. So I just gathered my some of my friends and uh, convinced some of the people to work in my film for free, and made a short film. So that's all about me. And after that, I joined MBA Murshidabad.
Okay, and hi everyone, I'm Rishabh. So I'm a business administration graduate from West Bengal University of Technology. Post graduation, I was working for Amazon. I initially started out in their customer service domain, and eventually I moved on to the social media support team, where I served for about 14 months. I worked on various large-scale product launches. I supported many Prime Video web series and movie launches with the social media support team. And I did, MBA has always been something that I wanted to do. So I eventually ended up quitting Amazon and coming to MDI Murshidabad. So apart from this, I'm a big time sports fan. I love football. I have played regional level basketball also. I have played district level basketball, second division basketball here in Kolkata. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, yeah, I would say that's about it.
Okay, that is great from both of you. Sir, you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say you can take a person out of Calcutta, but you can't take sports out of Calcutta. Like it's just I think the nature of the city. So no, so wonderful. I think wonderful, Rishabh. Great to hear that.
Yeah, especially football. I mean, everyone is a
Yeah.
football fan.
That's why I was very tentative about saying I don't like football that much. So anyway,
I'm with you, sir.
yeah.
Anik is like, all right. So see, that is the comfort level that we want you, both of you to feel, because that is what teamwork is all about, right? Here we are not, discussing, we are not interviewing you. We are having a discussion on a common problem that we have experienced, that you are experiencing, so that we can deliver a solution to that problem, as a team, right? So what I'll do is I have already, given sharing rights to both of you. I'll stop sharing my screen. Whichever person that you have decided, you can share a screen. As and when you start, I'll start the timer over here. Okay, after 10 minutes and after 15 minutes, I'll just give you a reminder of the time that is left with you, so that you can adjust your presentation and delivery accordingly. So far, so good. Any problem, both of you, Rishabh or Anik? Okay, so now the stage is all yours. All the best.
Okay, so just give me a minute. I'll share the presentation. Is the presentation visible?
Yeah, Rishabh, it's visible.
Okay, so shall we start? Okay. A very good evening to one and all present here. Me, Rishabh Saha, and my friend Rai are here to present our solution to the user experience challenge. And here it goes. Jack Dorsey, co-founder and CEO of Twitter, famously said, if you want to build a product that's relevant to people, you need to put yourself in their shoes. You need to write the story from their side. When we were asked to design an app that can help students and young professionals realize their career goals, the first question we asked ourselves was, what is it that's stopping them? Why do so many of us, in spite of having fancy college degrees and all sorts of technical know-how, fail to realize the job of our dreams? Why do so many young professionals struggle to excel in their careers? And upon thorough deliberation, we realized that there is no straightforward answer to this question. We realized that what these people truly need is a companion, willing to support them throughout their career endeavors. And that is the guiding principle behind the solution we are proposing today. Therefore, Excel by MBA Trek is an application that aims to understand individual users' core competencies and create personalized roadmaps for learning and skill development, creating ready and relevant professionals in the process. Here is a simplified version of our idea in the form of a flowchart that shows the user journey through various verticals of the app to the point where they enroll for a program. In order to make the application clutter-free and make the user feel welcome instead of intimidated, we have tried to minimalize the number of sections and verticals that one can access from the homepage. Each vertical under the initial division of student and young professional will have individual modules relevant to the specific user. In this diagram that you see, we have tried to address some of the common concerns that arise for users at the time of taking the enrollment decisions. We believe that the application should allow users to customize their learning curve and how much time they would like to spend on the application. Hence, users can choose between monthly, weekly, and daily plans, as depicted in the diagram. Now, before we move on to our designs, I would request Anik to take you through some of the design principles we have tried to inculcate in our approach. Over to you, Anik.
Yeah, thank you, Rishabh. So visual cues are a great way to keep the audience engaged while making the task of navigating through the application much easier. Users should be able to predict the outcome of their actions. Backtracking user action should be easy and quick. We design keeping user feedback in mind, that is, every action should show a clear reaction, and the most important functions should have large targets. That is, the size of the important buttons should be large enough for smooth reaction. Like in the picture, we see that here it is impossible. I mean, literally impossible for people to decide which button to click. But in this case, we see that they can easily reach out to the button they want to press, and they can easily target that particular button. So we have also tried to inculcate the Nielsen-Norman heuristic in our design language. The heuristic evaluation method allows us to judge a user interface design based on 10 well-proven general principles for the user experience. They are as follows: like the visibility of system status, match between system and the real world, user control and freedom, consistency and standards, error prevention, recognition rather than recall, flexibility and efficiency of use, aesthetic and minimalist design help users recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors, and help and documentation. Over the next few slides, we will try to explain how we have managed to inculcate these principles into our design. So bad error handling paired with useless error messages can fill users with frustration and lead them to abandon the app. A well-crafted error message, on the other hand, can turn a moment of frustration into a moment of conversion. Therefore, error messages and notifications should help users prevent mistakes and keep them on the right track. As displayed in the example, Gmail prompts users if they forget to add an attachment in their email in spite of writing the word "see attachment" in the body of their email. So here are a few good examples of how we can design feedback for the various actions that a user performs in the app. As displayed, regular and frequent actions like submit button can have a simple and modest response. The user design should consider the nature of interaction. For frequent actions, the response can be modest, as I have already mentioned. Now we can see that here it is an example. Here it is an animation of a submit button. Now if we look at the submit button, and if we press it, it is generating a response. And with this response, the app is basically interacting with the person itself. So this gives the person the impression that the app is somehow humanized to his and is welcoming to him. Now, the more significant and less frequent actions should have more substantial reactions. For example, while creating a password as depicted in the animation here. So, while creating a password, if we can provide the user with this kind of feedback, it will be much easier for him to begin his journey. So with that, we can now move on to the design mock-ups that we have created with the help of Arjun's story. Rishabh, please take over.
Okay. Thank you, Anik. Arjun, a first-year MBA student, is Arjun, a first-year MBA student, is an ambitious individual who's eager to learn various skills that will help him further his career. But just like his peers, Arjun too is confused about what exactly he should be doing. Which industry should he be focusing on? Does he have the skills required to make it in this industry? How will he get an internship? Questions of this nature kept bothering him for days. That's when Arjun found out about Excel. The app helped Arjun make a career progression map based on an assessment of his cognitive and behavioral skills. Let us take a look at Arjun's journey from confusion to clarity and understand how Excel helped Arjun become a ready and relevant industry professional. In the first level of interaction, The app prompts Arjun to create an account. With just a few clicks, Arjun sets up his account and starts exploring the application. Arjun likes the design language of the application. Clutter-free and easy on the eye, he thinks to himself. Exploring the various sections of the application, he also visits the testimonial section and was impressed by the kind of help that other users of the application has received. And as we can see in this slide, there are various modules which one can access once they click on the different segments, that is student and young professionals. In this slide, we can see Arjun was able to find various individual modules. I'm sorry, I think I already spoke about this. Okay, Arjun Sai was complete program. Okay, okay. Now I would request Anik to take you through rest of Arjun's journey, and we'll explore what exactly is the companion program and how it works. Over to you, Anik.
Nick, you are on mute.
Yeah, thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, please go on. Also, I would like to remind you, you have around 11 minutes left now.
Yeah, okay, sir. So the program that really caught Arjun's eye was an all-in-one complete program called the Companion Program. As a part of the Companion Program, Arjun was asked to take an assessment which helped the app to understand Arjun's cognitive and behavioral skills and build a user-specific profile in terms of career preparedness. Based on the results of the assessment, a set of learning modules and programs were suggested to Arjun, which he could tweak according to his likings. Impressed by the results that Arjun saw and relevance of the courses suggested by the app, Arjun decided to enroll for the program. A personalized career progression roadmap was laid out for Arjun, which he could tweak to have a daily, weekly, or monthly plan for learning and development. This gave Arjun the flexibility to learn according to his convenience and not miss out on his prior academic commitments. Arjun figured out that each week within the career progression roadmap can be further customized using the week planner. Arjun could now amalgamate all his personal growth and academic commitments into Excel and can track his progress using the career progression roadmap. This would surely help me to stay on the top of my schedule, Arjun thought to himself. Now, as days went by, Arjun kept steadily progressing towards achieving his targets and becoming a ready and relevant professional. However, there were times when he just felt like he deserves a break and did not want to complete the modules he should be doing. Excel, however, had other ideas. The application would automatically notify Arjun that he should be completing the module as per the roadmap. This kept Arjun motivated towards completing the task at hand. Finally, after the weeks of learning and development, Arjun was able to successfully complete the program and felt confident to take on any challenge that his academic or career journey may throw at him. Now, I would request Rishabh to take over and explain some of the user acquisition strategy that may be adopted to generate traffic for the application.
YouTube influencer marketing is great because it can both educate consumers about our brand and drive conversion at the same time. With the right guidance, YouTube influencers can create incredibly effective direct response ads that include a promo code or unique link to our application and drive their audiences to not only download the app, but also purchase our offerings. In this slide, we've created a list of possible influencers we can tap into to increase the visibility of our product. We have tried to find out the quality of engagement that these YouTube channels are having with their respective audiences. As displayed in the table, all the YouTube channels recommended here provide high quality content and have received extensive amounts of positive engagements with their viewers. This reflects that the viewers of these channels are highly motivated towards the content provided by them and will instantly relate with our product. Considering that our target market segment mostly consists of college students, campus ambassadors can be a great way to convert users of the app into evangelists for the app. The idea here is to make it easy for students to discover the product. When a fellow student endorses a product based on his/her experience with the application, it will have a higher impact on the target audience and will result in a higher conversion rate compared to other platforms of promoting the application. I would request Anik to take you through the rest of the user acquisition strategies that we've thought of.
So this particular user acquisition strategy is all about market segmentation. Upon our research, we found out that we could apply the psychographic and behavioral principle of market segmentation in this particular app. Now we found out that based on the psychographic and behavioral segmentation, there are two kinds of people who are willing to try a new app and who are not willing to try a new app. And in our research, we found that the people who are willing to try a new app can be convinced only by satisfying their stated, real, and sometimes unstated needs. But the people who are not willing to try a new app readily can be very difficult, and they can be convinced not only by satisfying these three of the primary needs, but also their delight and secret desires should also be taken care of. Now, how should we how should we address their delight? To successfully attract the second category of people, the free trials must be offered to them, and at the end of the trial period, vouchers for their favorite stores or apps should be provided only when they purchase another product from the app. And for addressing their secret desire, we propose that the person should be recognized at a platform. Now, this platform can be an in-house section of the same app or a social media page dedicated for the purpose with the name of Excel. This user acquisition strategy talks about the moment marketing. As we all know that humor is one of the most popular formats of customer engagement. Considering that our target population is in the age bracket of 18 to 28 years of age, they're frequent visitors of humor-based social media accounts. So we can partner with some of these accounts to convert their popular memes into Excel advertisement. How? We have tried to explain it through these examples. Okay. And the next user acquisition strategy talks about targeting the government job aspirants. Now, why are we targeting government job aspirants? On an average, 2.5 to 3 crore aspirants appear for about 1.25 lakh vacancies in various departments of the central government every year. However, central government employment was estimated to constitute only around 14% of the total public employment in India in 2019-20. Now, many of the aspirants,
last 4 minutes you have. Okay.
Many of the aspirants either are unaware of the huge growth opportunities in the private sector of our country, or are stuck in the age-old mentality of only aspiring for government jobs. Now, discovering a huge opportunity, various platforms came up to coach and guide these government job aspirants to their desired destination. There are various YouTube channels as well as apps like Wi-Fi Study, Adda 24/7, Textbook, Mahindras, etc. We believe this can be a huge opportunity for Excel as well to generate a large amount of traffic by collaborating with these above mentioned apps and their respective YouTube channels by creating awareness among these aspirants. So the next 2 slides are basically about our assessment reviews. So with this, we conclude our presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Team Enfield. All right. So we would now begin with the questions. Ayushi, Abhishek sir, would you like to start?
Okay, so you showcased one slide right now, which was government user acquisition, right? So, like, my question is how, basically acquiring, first is, how we would acquire these users, why would they enroll for our app, right? And second is, even if, for example, we acquire these users, then how basically they would be relevant for the services that we have. Like, have you both planned through that?
Anik?
Yeah, yeah, I'll take the question. So basically, there are people like, acha, Rishabh, can you just go to
Yes,
that
yes,
slide? Yeah.
sure. Is it there? Yes.
Yeah, so there are basically a huge segment of people who thinks that government, there is only government job in life, and they just have to get a government job, and they just do not have the idea that how our country is moving forward, and there are a lot of opportunities in the private sector. They can also begin their in entrepreneurship, but they have basically they're not basically aware of those opportunities. They are not aware of those, I mean, how could they begin their entrepreneurship journey, about the angel investors and all. They do not have basically the idea. So our idea is to, I mean, those people who goes to and who are subscribers of this kind of apps, and regularly are regular visitors of these YouTube channels. If we can, I mean, collaborate with these creators, I mean, so, and add how
I mean,
Excel
what
is, what Excel is, and how it can help them. So I mean, they can be, that can be a useful, I mean, uh,
Okay.
the idea is to collaborate with the
Hmm.
influencers, basically.
influencer. And we also have to, I mean, make them understand that the creator of these particular apps are also basically in the private sector. So they are not doing government job themselves. So basically, they found a huge opportunity, and they tried to, make good use of those opportunity. So how they can also do the same? We can, I mean, create an awareness and.
Okay, okay. Also, towards the starting, you showcase that there should be, I think, daily, weekly, or monthly notification type of thing, right?
Right.
So I have two questions on regards to this. So first is basically what type of notifications have you guys planned? So like, what should be those daily, weekly, or monthly notification that the user should get?
Okay, so how the companion program works is, I mean, the first thing that a user would be asked to do is take an assessment, right? So once he takes an assessment, the app would be able to understand what sort of learning modules should be catered to that particular person based on whatever his present skill set or his basically competencies are. So once the app decides which modules are to be prescribed to the student, so that set of modules can be it can be spaced out in different ways. That's what our idea is. I mean, if the user wants, he can do those modules in like a week's time, back to back, every day, every single day. And if he wants, he can also do it in like a month's time, or maybe take a lot more time with it. So that's what we are trying to do here. I mean, what we are basically the time that the user spends on the application can be tweaked using those customizations that we have mentioned on that slide.
Okay, so by modules, can you give me an example? So like, what type of modules like have you
Yeah,
planned?
right.
Rishabh, I think you should go to the slide. It
Okay,
will be
one
easier for
second.
you to make them understand.
I think it was this. Yeah, so by modules, I mean, when I visited the MBA Treks website, I was able to find various different sort of offerings that were catered to students and young professionals. So what we are trying to do is basically repackage those existing modules in a way that the app can cater a set of modules based on the assessment taken by a specific individual. So what we are suggesting is that there is no need to create new programs or new modules. We can just I mean, reprogram those existing modules into this sort of a structure.
Okay, my last question is, so for example, you said that daily notification should be there. So what is the frequency of daily notification you all feel that would makes the user interesting, and the frequency of the notification which would basically, you know, annoy a user or irritate a user?
Right. So the notifications won't be daily. The notifications, the question of notifications only arises when a particular user is about to miss on a deadline. For example, the person selected a stringent plan for himself, right? A daily plan for himself, and then, for example, he is able to do it for 4 straight days, and on the fifth day he is about to miss the deadline. Probably the module takes about 15-20 minutes. Let's assume the module only takes 15 to 20 minutes, but the user is about to miss the deadline. Okay, so what the app will do is, just 30 minutes before the deadline, the app will, you know, prompt the user to actually go ahead and take that module, so that he doesn't miss out on the deadline and his journey doesn't, you know, stop. So that's the idea.
Okay, so basically it has to be like a notification thing that this is what is
Right.
coming up.
Yeah,
And okay.
right. The notification can have a fun tone. I mean, it can have a fun tone, like, for example, it can say something like, I mean, I thought of some of the things that I'm forgetting right now, but I mean, it can have a fun tone, which does not have to be like a stringent thing that you're missing out on something. So yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
what we thought. Yeah.
Okay, got it. I'm done. Sir and Ayush.
So I actually I want to go back initially, and this had caught my eye when you had presented it. The whole government exam aspirants. Now, while I think that's a great pool, because somehow because of family slash society and all other pressures, people only believe that the only job to do for them is the government jobs, right? And basically, except for half a percent or even less, the rest 99% will not going to make it, and they eventually try for 3-4 years and eventually give up or something. Now the challenge is, so I understand the channels, but with the apps per se, aren't we in direct competition? Because these apps, as you rightly said, have grown so significantly because they saw a huge market and they became, basically they dipped into it.
Right.
Now we are coming and telling them this is not the market. We are telling students and young people, don't go for government jobs. There is a different set of jobs available. There's
So
a different world available. What I'm just trying to understand is, what is it that we bring in from a business proposition to these guys, um, that they are compelled to then partner with us? Because otherwise they're saying, hey, you're ruining my market.
right. So the idea here is that we want to make these influencers understand that we are not trying to teach these people the kind of things that they are teaching them. What we are trying to do is orienting them towards the private sector. I mean, the basic reason why most of these people would not even be interested for anything else other than a government job is because they feel that they would probably not do well in probably a face-to-face interview, or probably when they have to deliver a presentation or something of that sort, where different set of skills are tested instead of your maybe analytical or maybe your, you know, knowledge based domains. So what we are offering to these influencers is that we can orient their students in that sphere, in that domain, which they cannot, because they obviously may be very competent in the knowledge knowledge sphere, but we can help them with what the private sector demands. So in that way we are different from them, and I think that is why we can convince them to, you know, to partner with us.
And I also want to add something. Well, these are basically apps which are in the industry of edtech startup, right? And the MBA Track and Excel, as we all know, that they are basically educational consultants. So so they are basically in the different, I mean, domain altogether. So there is no question of competition. However, if they think that I mean, you know, by proposing this app to the aspirants, I mean, their business can be harmed. They can also, I mean, Excel can also partner with them to provide some new modules. I mean, they also need preparation for these kind of things also. I mean, if they want to join private sector, or if they want to start a startup or say in entrepreneurship, they also need guidance, some kind of guidance. So these guidance can be supervised by these kind of apps or the creators of those apps also. So basically, in spite of going out, I mean, like a war, we can just partner them and I mean, add to the value proposition.
Okay. Okay. By the way, with the name Excel, you are basically got us into a straight trademark fight with Microsoft. So,
Sir,
so,
the app
so
would be
thank you for that.
the app would be called Excel by
Excel
MBA
by
Track. I
MBA
don't
Track.
think that would not infringe
Uh,
on.
oh man, we've fought trademark battles in the past. In fact, we've got most of our trademarks, but some of them obviously, people oppose anything. Um, okay, I think one more thing which is critical for me, because though I know it was more from a bonus standpoint, you probably just a sense of this companion app. What do you think in a daily, monthly, or a weekly standpoint? What is the right costing behind it? Like, what do you think would be the right price which would compel people to, let's say, because see, yes, we want 1 million users, right? But how do we get from a free user base to a paid user base? So what should we price that? And I apologize if you're hearing a small child in the background. That's my daughter.
That's not a problem. I think, I mean, based on the assessment, if the user is suggested a long-term plan, let's say a user is suggested a long-term plan, then maybe we can go for a subscription model. That could be a way to I mean, that could be a revenue model that we can go for. Otherwise, if there is a the time period of the learning curve that the person, if it's not a very long term time period, then it has to be a program specific pricing that we have to go for. So these are, I mean, we could have a subscription based model plus a program specific model, which I think that could be the way to go for it.
Well, for initial days, I think the strategy that MBA Track has to sell the products or the assessments. I mean, for 4,000 or 5,000 rupees. I mean, per assessment basis pricing model that it has, it can continue with that. I mean, in the initial days of the app, but as the users used to, gets used to this kind of things, and this app becomes popular in the latter days, they can also start the subscription based model, wherein the user can have and can have take a subscription for say 1 year, and this would help user not only for one or two times but in various stages of their life. Like suppose a student is is in first year, so he needs some sort of help. But in the second year, when the placement week just begins, he also needs help, but that help would be a different sort of help. And after also getting through the placement drive, suppose he is in the industry and in a company, but he wants to switch to another company, so in that case he also needs guidance. So subscription model could help those kind of users, but that could not work in the initial days. Maybe we can plan that kind of model in the latter days of this app.
Sorry, one final question then from my end. Um, this companion app, uh, do you believe that this is only for, so the companion app gets set once you put in your preferences and do the assessment? Do you think this should be revised on a timely basis? Because didn't see that in the presentation. So uh, are we constantly checking for changing preferences, or we assume once the preferences are set, that's it, this is then the journey?
So Rizab, can you go to the slide?
Uh, I mean, we don't have to. Yeah. So the question that you asked, I think it's a great idea. I mean, we did not think of it initially. I think Anik will agree. I think if we can constantly revise, the offerings that the app is making, I think that could be a good idea to keep the user engaged with the application. Anik can factor in some points if he wants, but I think it could be a great idea, and that could be done.
Yes, yes. Acha, can you go back to, I mean, the previous, the slide, I mean, yes.
This one.
Uh, yes, yes, this one. So, so these are basically, we have, I mean, organized various products which are related to the intensive and the final placements. So the kind of if a user suppose a user just wants to go for one or two products, they can always go to this kind of I mean the intensive or final placement section and buy one or two of those assessments, and I mean can take those assessments like okay. But if a user wants to, I mean, wants a guide who can be of who can be his, I mean, companion for rest of his, suppose for say first year or second year, or with in whichever stage of life he is, then he can go for the companion program. And once they decide to go for the companion program, can you go to the next slide, Lisa? So then they will be assessed, and based on the assessment, the kind of products, these suggested courses that we already have, these will be given in the check boxes. And after getting the suggestions, the student the total time and also the total price will be given here. And then that would be if they want to enroll for the program or not, then they can decide with it. But after getting into the companion program, we have not thought of changing those, I mean, preferences. That would be a great idea. Yeah.
Okay, fine, perfect. I think that sort of answers my question. Good. I think I'm done from my end. Ayush,
Yes, sir. Mhm. So, great presentation, I must say. I would start with the things that I liked, and that was basically, the beginning, the initial pitch. I think that is a question which we should all, think, not just us, the professionals, but the students themselves. What is it that's stopping you, right? And why is it that the students fail to realize the jobs of their dreams? So I like that particular thing. I think that is the basic crux of of MBA track, I would say. And rightly pointed out, there is no straightforward answer unless you connect with someone who has some experience, right? So that is something that the student community and the young professionals overall they need. So because of that, I like the idea of the companion program a lot. uh, you have provided a lot of in-depth details to UI. The password part was very much explained in depth, and when you were explaining that part, it was evident to me that the point that you want to make here, or the point that you have thought of, is basically each and every part of the screen is equally important, in the user experience or in the UI part. So I liked that particular thing a lot. There are few things, however, first and most important thing which I think was majorly missing, that is the quantitative part of the user acquisition. So obviously you have answered the strategic part, but how and when we should be and where we should be implementing those strategies in order to acquire 1 million user base in the next 12 months, that is something which I found missing. So that is like, for example, if I tell you that I am suffering from fever, what should I do? So obviously you told me that, okay, you can take paracetamol, you can have hot water, you can take this kind of food, which is good and which is right. So your strategic part is okay, but how many liters of water should I be taking? How many doses of paracetamol should I be taking? Something like that. So that quantitative part across all the channels is something which I found missing, but that is okay. I think the strategic part was
I would
yeah.
like to
Yeah.
see. The thing is, I mean, I knew that this could have been a question, and I spoke to Anik about it. So, see, the problem here is that we know that these things can work, but because we have never, actually done this with a company or at a workplace or anywhere, because we've never really implemented strategies of this kind. So I don't think that we are at a position where we can assign numbers to these strategies, and that's why we thought that it's better to not, basically say something that we are not very sure of, and that's why we decided to not put numbers to it. That was our thought process behind.
I think I like that honest answer. I'd be very, very much straightforward with that. Okay, so now I have, just one or two questions. First of all, you said that you would be taking assessments at the beginning, and then you would be recommending few programs like we saw on the screens 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Right.
Which is, I would believe, a very good journey. What my question is, what metrics are you going to consider, in those assessments? So that metric part was missing. What exactly are you going to check, and how exactly are you going to match that particular whatever that you are checking with the programs or the products that you are planning to offer as a second step?
Uh,
Okay. Sorry, sir. Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
you
go
can
ahead.
go ahead,
No,
Anik.
no, go ahead.
So, what the reason why we have not specifically mentioned, the questions also, if you would see which are mentioned over here in the assessment, the questions that were mentioned, they are not very specific. They're just there to fill up the space. To be honest, because what we know is that MBA Track already has various sets of assessments, right, which they are using to, I mean. Basically, any assessment that we are doing with MBA Track is a psychometric assessment. So what our idea is that we can inculcate most of the, a lot of those assessments and those questions that are already there, and then we can create a single assessment which would give us every single detail about the specific user that is trying to do, trying to enroll for a companion program. So because because we are not really sure about which psychometric factors to consider while deciding what should be assigned to a individual person, we thought that because MBA Track is already doing these things, it would not be a very big challenge to collate those assessments and create a single assessment that can give a complete idea about the users, but about a particular user's profile, and that's why we did not really write very specific questions about the assessment that we have mentioned there.
But again, I would say that these are, the very basic or primary kind of things that we are going to ask when suggesting any kind of any sort of courses. As you can see here, that where are you? By these kind of question sets, we what we meant that we just want to know in which life stage they are. Suppose they are in the final year of their graduation, or they are in the first year of their MBA. They just began their journey, or they are in fact they have got some experience or sort of experience. So in this way, we can know the life stage of that particular person. And who are you? This is the question which will inculcate questions like their core motivations, professional achievements if they have any, or where does he want to reach, their hobbies and these kind of things. So these are the primary crux of the whole assessment.
Okay. I just have a last question. It's not really a question, but just an introspection kind of a thing. You said that there would be daily, weekly, and monthly goals, right? As an MBA student, don't you realize that MBA, and during MBA, each and every day would matter a lot. The stage at which you are and the stage at which you are going to be, just 1 week later or 1 month later, there is going to be a drastic change. If a user, and I'm talking specifically for the MBA audience, right? If a user selects a monthly goal, is it a loss for him or her? If it is, if you agree, and you can always disagree with what I have just mentioned, but if you agree that MBA program is very much dynamic, and you need to remind the user every day or almost every alternate day with what he or she has to do or has done, or they have achieved in their journey. So if a user selects monthly plan, how exactly are you going to take care of the perfect user journey during the entire month?
Yes, I would have to show you the slide. Okay, yeah. So here in this slide, we can see the week planner. So what we have decided to do with this, I mean, every single week that the roadmap shows, will have this week planner that the users can customize. So in this week planner, the user doesn't, I mean, the user won't only have the modules which are suggested by Excel, but he can also input his academic goals and his academic commitments that he already has with his college program. So basically what Excel will do is, he would be able to get notified about anything that he's about to miss. So it's not just Excel, but any of his academic commitments or any of his academic goals, he would be notified about those as well. So it sort of serves the complete purpose, because the user would be able to, basically he would not lose out on his development plan, be it his college studies, or his personal growth or personal learning plan, which is going on with Excel.
In this particular example, we see that task 1, task 2, and task 3 are, I mean, suggested by the Excel app. But the task 4 and task 5 are that user's personal task that he can customize, that he or she can always customize. So that
what
way,
you're suggesting is be it weekly or monthly, students are always, or young professionals are always going to have their daily goals by
Right.
default.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And they can add on whatever they would like to add on to that.
Okay, then I believe that makes sense to me. I think I'm also done. It was a good presentation, even better Q&A, I would say. Any words that you might have, or any questions that your team has, Rishabh or Anik?
Rishabh, do you have?
I don't have a question.
Well, I mean, we are very lucky to have a conversation with you. We were just talking about it. I mean, the role that, I mean, the significance the role will have, and the fun that we had, I mean, during this,
Doing this, yes,
doing this,
that was incredible.
it was, I mean, was really great, and we are really, I mean, proud to, I mean, to reach the finals. We did not, I mean,
And
So I have a question over here. Which part of this presentation you think, was the most exciting for us? Which makes you believe that, that was a trigger point of making you qualify as a national finalist?
was it the introduction? No.
Oh, that was not even in the presentation. That was a pitch you created separately, right?
No, I mean the introduction that was written in the presentation, the first
No,
slide.
no, not that.
Is it the companion program?
The user interface.
Yeah, so it's there are two things. First is the companion program, yeah, right. And the second thing, what I would say, is the journey of Arjun. So you have actually taken a user and you have shown how he would be progressing through the entire thing. So that is a very beautiful thing. I think yours, is just one of the few teams that have done this kind of thing. So a great job done over there. Any words you have, Ayushi or Abhishek sir?
Okay. So I just would say one final thing, because we heard it from you. I think as business school students, putting numbers to things you have not done before should be a natural art, and should be a natural thing. It should be very, and I keep using the word natural. It should come to you very naturally. You should be, either you use heuristics or you use some kind of proxy or whatever it is. But while, I mean, I understand what you're saying, what you've tried to do and what we are trying to do is very unique, I understand. But it does not mean that you can't put numbers to it. Because as you go into the business world, very few people will take that answer very sportingly. Right, that is an expectation from top quality business school graduates, that
Completely agree with you.
we are
Sir.
putting numbers against a business plan is not. It should be should be part of your DNA actually, right? So I think that would be the only personal feedback I'll leave you with. Yeah, the companion app or the companion program is obviously something very close to our heart. without letting too many things go away, you'd be surprised. We're already working on something like this. So that's something that's very interesting for us. It's some time away, but yeah, I think wonderful. Thank you so much, team. I think this is really really good, and I think Team Infield. Yeah, I think you guys are roaring up the way. So great, good job, and take care. I think that's it from our end. Ayush.
Yeah, thank you, team. Can I now please request you to leave the room?
Sure.
Yeah. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.